Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Ethereum price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. This is a deep analysis. We're gonna start from the weekly onto the 1 hour chart to see the possibilities that we might expect for the next week. Starting here on the weekly, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, finishing wave 1 or a wave A. After both case scenarios, you would like to see a corrective wave. Now, typically, when you say correctively, we think directly about 3 waves toward the downside, right, with a wave C. Where your wave C have to hit, of course, the 1-to-1 fib level taken from the wave A here, hitting the wave B, and taking, of course, the wave C at $739, which is a very, very low price for Ethereum based on the all-time high taken at almost 5,000. Meaning this, of course, 10% of the price that it was in the top, and of course, it is not really psychologically acceptable for Ethereum. And I think that the whole crypto market doesn't accept it, and it will not allow this price to happen psychologically. However, I'm not, of course, a moon boy, but I'm talking here that this price is very, very low, and I don't believe that the market is gonna accept it. So basically, I start to think from this theory to something else. Why not thinking, for example, about a triangle, right? In this scenario, which is the highest scenario in a triangle, we're looking here at 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, finishing wave A, of course, not wave 1, but wave A. I'm going to explain why. And looking for, of course, a triangle in sideways, exactly inside this, of course, corrective channel. Sorry, here. This corrective channel, the blue channel, and moving sideways in a triangle shape, and then start to move toward the upside after finishing a wave B. Now, why it is only a B, and a C? That because, of course, a wave 2 is not allowed to be a triangle. Only a wave B is allowed, of course, to be a triangle after an impulse, of course, or a wave 4. But here we don't have a wave 4, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 already finished. We have another scenario for this counting. We're going to see it next. But, of course, far possibility, of course, or even impossible to have a wave 4. So the only possibility is a wave B. Having a wave B says that we're gonna have a wave C and not a wave 3, 4, and a 5, meaning your wave C gonna hit all around, of course, the 6,476, taken potentially, of course, from this finished triangle. In case we finish, of course, this is a virtual still, but of course, 6,476 sounds a good price, of course, after the last all-time high. Now, if we take a look for the second possible scenario, and of course, as I would say, less possibility than the triangle, but still, of course, optional. And I said, of course, that we might have different count here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 here. And an impulse finish to finish a wave 1. You finish a wave 2 after it, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 again for a second wave 1. Meaning you have double 1, 2, right? In this case scenario, if this is a wave 1 here, there is a possibility, for example, to finish in W, X, and a Y rather than finishing a flat toward the downside, taking the low again in very, very low price action. Meaning 3 waves down, 3 waves up, 3 waves down again. This is an expanding flat. A, B, and a C, or W, X, and a Y currently, because the minor or the micro analysis that we're gonna see today has added the scenario as W, X, and a Y, and this has been added today. It was not in the last analysis. I added today because of the micro price action that we got here. I'm gonna explain in few minutes later. Meaning, if you finished in W, X, and a Y here, yeah, and your wave Y is allowed to not take the low anyway, and then moving toward the upside from here. After hitting the 1.38, 1.618, potentially if we have an expanding flat, because this is the high here, meaning 3 waves down, 3 waves up. In case this is an impulse, you would like to take those fib level, but actually we don't really have high possibility that this is an impulse. I'm gonna explain as mentioned. So the last scenario, of course, is a typical scenario that we're talking about, an ABC flat. taking the wave C was a 759, which of course a possibility, but in terms of psychology, 750 or 39 is very low for this all-time high, and especially for Ethereum, which is considered, of course, one of the strongest altcoins, right? Basically, this scenario, of course, still very optional, very open, and of course, but I need further action here. As you can see right now, we have stopped exactly on the middle line of this corrective channel, and potentially we finish WXY, and maybe we're moving toward the upside with this scenario that I just mentioned right now, having a 1-2 as a WXY wave 2, and of course not taking the low, failing to take the low, and then moving for higher. In this case scenario, your wave 3 is 1.618 8,000 or 1.38 at 7,000. Now that sounds like Ethereum, right? And of course, if we are looking at this scenario, now of course it's gonna move up again, even for higher, because you know the lower you go, the higher you get later on. Yeah? And this is Elliott wave exactly idea, where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You finish your impulse move here to the upside with a wave 1, and you take a very deep wave C for, of course, wave 2, big wave 2, and then moving, of course, with a massive wave 3 towards the upside at 9,400. Meaning, as a conclusion, the deeper you go, the higher you go later, right? If we are in a triangle here, we're gonna expect wave C, which is only 1-to-1 fib level around the 6,000. If we are in double 1-2 here, of course, then you have to expect a wave 3, which is also should be very high, and even 4-5 and 4-5 potentially toward the upside, even higher, right? So that is those are the possibilities. My highest possibility, as you know, is going for the triangle right now, or next high possibility is this WXY. My last possibility, of course, is for this wave C, which is very, very deep for Ethereum, I think. Now, if we take a look closer on the 4-hour chart here, on the 4-hour chart, we are looking at this price action right now, which is, of course, very weird in this area. I'm going to explain, but a little bit overview, where are we? So exactly, I'm looking at those 3 waves down and then 3 waves up, where you took the high here as an expanding flat potentially. If you are 3 waves down, 3 waves up, taking the high here, you're looking for an impulse toward the downside to hit perfectly the 1.618 and the 1.38 as an expanding flat wave C, right? Now, if we are in an impulse 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, you finished your wave 3, let's say here exactly, for the magenta, you will finish a wave 3. And then after this wave 3, meaning of course that you have finished 4 after it, and then 5. Okay, your wave 5 is not finishing really nice. Meaning after 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, okay, that's fine. We finished wave 3 without invalidation. The wave 4 is perfect, meaning you finish 1, 2, 3, 4. You're still looking for a wave 5. Now, my problem is in this area, where of course you start to move impulsively toward the downside, considering that this can be your wave 1 here, or it can be your finished wave 5, let's say. If we have finished wave 5, therefore you're looking definitely here for something A, B, and a C toward the upside. But this wave B, the fib levels for a wave B here are very, very overshooting, meaning it's so far from an expanding flat fib levels. Look how much we overshoot it. It's so far. The 1.38 is so far. Therefore, very low possibility, and very low possibility even that we finished a wave 5 here. And if we didn't finish this wave 5, meaning you are in 1, 2, 3, and a 4, and a 5, right? Currently, we did not invalidate it yet. My problem with this one is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. You're looking for 4 and a 5, 4 and a 5, and then one more 4 and a 5. Okay, because you have a big wave 1, 2 as well. So triple 1, 2s, meaning many 4, 5 still, of course, to be hit, which of course is gonna lead us inside this area, which is of course in confluence with the main target of a wave 5 taken from the wave 1 here, based on the wave 3, giving us of course the 0.618, 1.618, and the confluence between those targets is this exactly blue box, which is between the 1400 and 1300 for Ethereum. Meaning, guys, we are right now, why I said, of course, I'm going to explain the WXY, because if we take the high here and we get the invalidation at almost 1990, we interfere with the zone 1, 3, 4, interfering with zone 1, meaning, of course, invalidation. So I'm thinking for the next price action, if we invalidate, okay, what should we do? Because we didn't finish the wave 5, and it's not possible to finish it anymore because you cannot count 1, 2, 3, 4 invalidated. Okay, then we have to think about 1, 2, and then again 1, 2. You cannot, because this is not an impulse. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 invalidation. If 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 invalidation again. So that's crazy. It has been invalidated. This is what I want to say. In case we take still this price, 1990. Therefore, I'm thinking directly from now what it could be the possibilities for a wave Y here to be finished. So the possibilities are the following: 3 waves down, 3 waves up for X, and then final 3 waves down. Your final 3 waves down, this is of course 3 wave here, kind of like A, B, and a C, very sideways, and then of course moving toward the downside here in a 3 waves as well, very, very choppy, or WXY. Another scenario can be even much more complicated for this wave here to move towards the downside, of course, after having a W, X, and a Y. Your wave Y even can be something something else, or W, X, Y, X, Z. So this is where I start to think like, okay, that is something very weird going on here. What if we have W, X, and Y, X, and Z? Yeah. What if this possibility start to play here, which is very rare scenario, by the way, to use this one, but because it's become very complicated, of course, unless we don't invalidate, guys. This is just overthinking right now because we're very close for invalidation, and I see bullish in Bitcoin and in the crypto market that is coming a little bit for higher. So what if potentially Ethereum even goes higher with the crypto market and invalidates this? I have to find already the scenario, and I think potentially this can be, yeah, as a W, X, Y, X, and a Z again. Yeah, very, very complicated chart. It can be even something like even much more complicated. It can be that your X can be here. Let me check. So W, yeah, W, X, and Y, but your wave Y is gonna be very, very shallow in this case. So I doubt it. No, it cannot be actually. It has to be here. If we check here also W, yeah, also W, X, Y, X, Z. Yeah, this is also a possibility, guys. W, X, Y, and then another X here as 3 waves, and Z. How much the possibility? Well, not so high, not even so high. So I feel like, of course, I mean, this is only a possibility, guys, in case we get invalidation. Yeah, but this complication here, it says that it should not be invalidated. Yeah, but if it does, so we don't have any other option. We have to take this as W, X, and a Y and looking for higher. What does it mean anyway at the end? Okay, we saw these complications in Ethereum with the price action. What does it mean in a bigger picture? In a bigger picture, if we have finished here WXY or XZ, whatever it is, Yeah, so that means we are much higher possibly in this scenario, right? It can be, of course, that we are very close to finish a wave C for your triangle, right? And then moving higher for a wave D. Because as we know, Bitcoin has to move for higher. It has to test almost around the 100K potentially, of course, as we saw in the deep analysis, meaning very high prices. Ethereum has to be affected somehow, right? And of course, wave D can be taken, yeah, and then wave E. Because we know Ethereum, Bitcoin also has to move for higher, but it's not for the all-time high. It's gonna move back down, and potentially, of course, this is gonna be the wave E for the Ethereum. So these are the scenarios how also the Ethereum can be affected with Bitcoin at the same time, and then moving toward the upside. This drop toward the downside can be, of course, the Bitcoin drop for a wave C as well before the new bull run. As explained in the deep analysis, if you would like to see it today, it was published, of course, in the morning and uploaded. And yeah, so these are the scenarios for Ethereum. All what we have to watch right now is, of course, the invalidation level of the bearish 1990. If taken, you have to consider directly that we have bottomed here for a wave Y. We're looking for higher wave D in a triangle for higher possibility. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.